My worker just came out. He's got to go back and go to work. Do you need anything?
No.
Oh, okay, then just go to work. Packing tea. It's like, okay, you want to be a homeschool kid? Then if you're going to be a homeschool kid, then every Friday you gotta work. So that's where we are right now. Anyways, you can see today's beautiful. It is an absolutely gorgeous fall day here on the east coast of Taiwan, and it's one of those days where you're just sort of like, what am I doing inside? The bees here are absolutely happy as can be, and today we are doing Long Yen Dragon's Eye. We are doing this tea that's the years are all blending into one. I think it's been 2 years. Has it been 2 years since I had the Dragon's Eye flower, the tisane, the Dragon's Eye flower, Dragon's Eye flower herbal tea? I can't remember the last time. Was it last year? It was last year. It was last year. It was for sure last year. And the reason I'm thinking it wasn't last year is because this springtime, I got in touch with the family that I bought the Dragon's Eye from, and they were like, we didn't make any this year, and I was so disappointed. I thought I'm not going to be able to get any, but here it is, and I got some, and I got it for like a lot cheaper than a lot cheaper than the stuff that I got before. Now, what is Dragon's Eye flower? You can see it right here. That's the Dragon's Eye flower. And it is, so Long Yen is, what's the best way to describe Long Yen? So what is the Long Yen tree? The Long Yen tree is a tree that is, here, I'm going to start drinking this wonderful, amazing tisane here. So this, it's super light. And you can see that's about 1 gram. And if you're doing 1 gram, that's about all you need. So you only need about 1 gram. And you just throw it in here and you can just drink it all day long. That's basically all you need. And the Long Yen, or Dragon's Eye, is a fruit. It's a Taiwanese fruit. It is a fruit that is, it's ubiquitous in Taiwan, except for maybe the furthest south. But even there, no, it's still there. And it's a fruit that is so beautiful and so wonderful and so underrated, I guess you could say, that generally speaking, Taiwanese people don't even think about it. It's just always there it's just always there. You can always get some. Everybody's got a grandmother or an aunt who lives out somewhere, and that Dragon's Eye tree is huge. And then in August, you can go and you can get some. And you can look it up. So technically, it's actually Long Yen. So it's like Dragon's Eye. So Long is dragon and Yen is eye. So it's Longyan is the technical way to. But doing all of the research that I've been doing, it's Longan, which I think is not right. I guess in the past they took away the Y for Wade Giles or whichever one of the things they were using when they were putting it into pinyin. But what's the point? The point is, it's ubiquitous in Taiwan. It's ubiquitous in Taiwanese food. It's ubiquitous in Taiwanese tea. So if you've ever had charcoal roasted tea, you have had, chances are, it was Long Yen charcoal roasted tea. So basically that's the charcoal. It makes the best charcoal. And it grows everywhere. Like you can, like in my house, actually in front of my house, where it actually goes over sort of where the car is. We live down a little lane. But there is a Long Yen tree, and we've been growing it for 7 or 8 years. And it was, so when my kids were younger, what we would do every July, every August, is we'd go, I got the tool, right? So it's this big long pole with a little hook on the end, you go, and we would go to the parks and we would go get free Long Yen is what we went and did. And so we would go to the parks, and then you get these big things along it. And so when we did that, when they were kids running around all the time, right? Hey, how's it going? And they were running around all the time. The kids just running back and forth, and they'd eat the Long Yen fruit, and they have these beautiful big black seeds. And then they just threw the seeds into, like, there's a little patch of grass. and these things, they grow so easily and so well. And so when I say they're ubiquitous, they are. The most popular honey anywhere in Taiwan is called Long Yan honey. So that's Long Yan honey. So the dragon's eye honey, it's from these same flowers. The charcoal that roasts tea, that's Long Yan Mu. That's Long Yan. Hey man, how's it going? That's the Long Yan, dragon's eye charcoal roast. So if you've seen any of my teas, right, that's dragon's eye charcoal roast. That's what the charcoal there is, unless there's sort of acacia. The fruit themselves are, in everybody eats them in the fall, right? If I turn right here, actually that's a Long Yan tree right there, right? So right here, well, that depends on which camera I'm looking at. Anyways, there's a Long Yan tree right here, and actually there's 2 Long Yan trees right here, and they just grow everywhere, and they're just such a part of the culture in Taiwan that no one ever thinks about it. No one ever thinks about it, right? No one ever thinks, oh, this is such a special, this is it's the national flower of Taiwan, I would argue, or the national plant. It's just everywhere. And these trees, they grow huge, and they just, they've got big open sort of coverings, and anyways, they're beautiful, amazing trees. And last year, I didn't even know, sorry, I haven't turned it off in this. So I did this, and I got the fireworks by accident on the YouTube. I apologize for that, YouTube folks. Your charcoal roasts are my favorite. Well, I'm glad to hear that, and I'm hoping that I'm going to get this October and November. I'm going to get even better, like just over the top, amazing charcoal roasts. I've had a couple that were just insane, but it's still too hot. I don't know if you can tell, I'm still sweating. It's just too hot for me to go deep into the charcoal roasts yet. It's really hot. But a couple things, and I'll say this straight off the bat. You can see I drank some of this beautiful tea. It's sort of the first steep or whatever. And I had a couple pieces in my mouth because I love all of you too much to ever do tea bags. Now, last year I found this tea. They were selling tea bags. It's happened in the past. Like people have used this to make tea in the past. But, and this is the big but, and it's a huge but problem, really big problem, is I hate tea bags. I can't do tea bags. I can never do tea bags. I will never, ever, ever do tea bags for the teas that I sell. I just can't do it. And those of you that enjoy the tea bags, I apologize for that. I by no means am I putting a value judgment on the sense of I know convenience and all these different things, but for me, I can never, ever do tea bags, never. And so the Long Yan flower, the Long Yan Hua, I cannot put them into tea bags. And so you're going to have to figure that out yourself. You can either do it in the Gaiwan. If you're very, very good with the Gaiwan, you can do that. It works with a tea ball because the flowers are very, very small. You can just use a filter for something like that. And I know that the people who are watching this are experts when it comes to brewing tea, so I know you'll figure it out. But this tea tastes so gorgeous. Now, tea, right? We got a question. Charcoal roasted oolongs are my absolute favorite, so I'm happy to hear that more are on the way this autumn. Oh, there's going to be a ton. I'm going to invest in a bunch of really high quality roasted teas, and because they don't go bad and they just get better with age. So I'm going to invest in a bunch this autumn. Now, I mentioned before that this flower is sort of ubiquitous in Taiwan, just absolutely everywhere. Everybody knows this flower. It's just everywhere, right? Everywhere. And that's why I don't think this is taken off sort of as a drink, because people are like, oh, it tastes like honey. Well, yeah, but I'll just go buy the honey if I want the honey. It's not the same, right? Like it's a little bit harder to brew. It's like all these different types of things. And so people in Taiwan, they don't realize what they had or have here with this beautiful flower and this amazing fruit. They just don't really realize it. And they don't really realize it, not in the sense that they take it for granted. It's just so normal, right? It's just so normal, right? It's like everybody's got one of these trees. They're so easy to grow. They're just not expensive. They just take it for granted. And I'm so glad I was able to find a bunch of this tea. So last year I could only find like a little bit of this tea, and it was super expensive, like crazy expensive, because the people who made this tea just sort of did it for fun. Now, what I've realized this year is that now, and I knew this was coming, I think I mentioned it last year, but this is going to be popular. It's going to become like a fashionable tea for a while. And it's such a beautiful tea. Tisane herbal tea. It's become popular. And so there's one place, now I sampled a bunch of their different teas. They're not organic certified, but they get everything tested. So this is, agrochemical free. And what it boils down to with this tea, with this herbal tea, is that because it's become a little bit more popular, more and more people are starting to make it. And they decided to go all in. So this year they made a bunch of it, like a lot of this tea. And so I was able to get it for a much cheaper price. Like I said before, the one that I got last year, and just for the record, right? Let's use, I think we used it one of these other days. Let's use butter tarts as a sort of a comparison. So the ones before were made by an old grandmother, like a butter tart made by an old grandmother that didn't really want to sell them, just sort of gave them to the family. But I was able to get my hands on some of those butter tarts. That's what that one was like. This one is more like, well, we make them for sort of a country fair, and we make sort of more of them. And the butter tarts are still good. They're still great. They're still butter tarts in every way, but they're not exactly the same as the ones made by the grandmother. So that's basically where we are when we're looking at the difference between these two long yens, last year and this year. Now it's great, right? It's beautiful in every way. I don't know if I would want to say whether the difference is that big in that metaphor. Or maybe last year it was just so exciting to get it for the first time. Anyways, whatever. This is still a really, really good tea, herbal tea, tisane, whatever this is. This is really, really good. And I'm really happy because this is going to be on the site. And I've got enough that it's not like you gotta race and you gotta be like the first person in line and you gotta blah, 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 blah. I got enough, right? I got enough. I've got like this huge bag of this stuff. So it is now going to be a regular thing on Mountain Stream, on the Mountain Stream website for this herbal tea, this tisane. Hey, can you guys hear that? I've got the microphone for the Instagram. I don't know. Can you guys hear the, what was it called? Last time it was the Mountain Stream soundtrack. But last time there was a guy on a recorder. But this time he's back on the Erhu, and he's actually pretty good. He's okay. He's okay. I hear whistling. Whistling. What type of whistling? Is it like bee whistling? Like, oh, here we got the bees. So here, check this out, right? So the folks on Instagram can hear the bees, but I don't know what the whistling would be. I can't make out what you're saying. Your mic is having an issue. Oh, okay, perfect. You know what we'll do? Let's just get rid of the mic. So there we go. No mic. So can you let me know? Is it okay now? I knew that was going to happen. Sounds like static. Oh, nobody told me about it. Wow. Anyways, tell me, like, is this okay? Is this better now? I was wondering why people would jump in and then jump out. I guess the sound was terrible. I don't, what's the best way to describe it? I still think it's rather absurd that I'm like an internet influencer, so I very rarely listen back. This is better. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I think it's rather absurd that I'm an internet influencer. And so I very rarely listen back to these things. I think it's just absurd. I love it. It's great. It's wonderful. And I'm super appreciative of everybody who supports us. But it's very strange. It's very strange. But anyways, maybe I'll listen back to it, see how bad the sound was. Maybe I'll do like a quick little thing for Instagram. The YouTube one, I'll just leave it up. The sound's usually fine there. Anyways, what were we talking about? Long Yin flowers, I've got them back. They're going to be on the site, and they are some weird mix between honey, peach, floral. I mean, it's honey because everybody in Taiwan. Tune again later. I'm on the verge of passing. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Don't worry about it. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'll keep going on the YouTube, but I'm going to do a quick little one again for the Instagram. I'm just going to cancel that one out and do it again. Anyways, there we go. What was I going to say? Any questions about Long Yin? So many questions about this beautiful flower. Now, like I said, the problem is with this is that I'm not going to do tea bags. I love everybody too much to do tea bags. And so when you brew this, you're gonna have to figure out how to do it. Tea balls work, filters work, all sorts of different things work. And so you'll be able to figure it out yourself. So that's sort of an issue. Yeah. Now, one of the reasons why this isn't more widely had in Taiwan is because, like I said, if you want this flavor, you can get it in the honey. You can get it in the honey. You can get it in the fruit. Like, it's all over the place. This flavor is just all over Taiwan. This flavor. And there's other teas that are more sort of what's the best way of describing it? More sort of floral flavors. There's Guihua, which is osmanthus, which is a little bit more popular. These are flavors that are more in more places and things like that. And so this hasn't really taken off. And that's good for us because it's starting to take off. So we can get it for cheap and it's still pretty good. And you guys can have it and try it out. And we don't have to worry about it being as expensive as it was last year. Although worth it, worth every penny. But this year it's going to be worth even more of every penny. Because it's so, I had people who were saying, you know, are you going to be able to get it this year? Going to be able to get it this year? Going to be able to get it this year? You know, and then I had to tell everybody sort of a month or two ago, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it this year. The one source that I had didn't make it this year. And then I was able to find a bunch. And so that's going to make a lot of people happy. But people were telling me, you know, like how much, like what's the percentage chance you're going to get it? I don't know how, I've only got like 10 grams left. I don't know how to, you know, like, should I drink it now or should I save it or what should I do with my 10 grams? It's giving me anxiety, but don't worry. It's all back now. But yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back on Instagram and do something with better sound. And I guess that I bought this off of Shopee. So I guess there you go. It worked for some of the other lives. I think it worked okay. But I guess it's not working so good right now, unfortunately. But anyways, are the cakes on the site? No, actually the cakes just arrived. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to send out an email this weekend. There'll be Dragon's Eye flower, Sancha, green, black, and white. So Sancha, green, black, and white. There will be the tea cakes. I probably throw the tea cakes up. Why not? Because they just arrived today. I'll go take some pictures of them. Or it might not be this weekend. Actually, it's probably not going to be this weekend. I'll do it next weekend. That's when I'll do it. Because I'll probably have another couple more teas to add in then. But the cakes will be on the site within. The cakes will be on the site. Probably not in 2 days, but in 7 days. That's I think what I'm going to do. So I apologize for thinking through all of my marketing while I am doing a live stream, but I appreciate the opportunity to do it. But yeah, so I just got the tea cakes in. I got to organize them. I got to figure out how to send them. I got to write up all that stuff. And I don't think I can do it fast enough for Sunday. Because like I said, I just got them in. And the guy came, the guy sent it. Actually, it was pretty funny because the guy sent it from the other side of the island. I bought like a bunch of them. And he decided to do Ho Dao Fu Quan, which means I pay cash when it arrives. And it was like a big wad of cash because the guy on the other side of the island's like, that's what I want to do. And the poor guy, it was like his monthly salary I was handing to him, and he's like, what am I supposed to do with this? God damn, why are you giving me this? It's like, I got to put it in this pocket. I don't know. What am I going to do? But yeah, I got it in. Next time I'll just send him money through the bank because I don't want to make the poor delivery guy so nervous. He was, because he came to me and he said he forgot a zero. He says, hey, it's this much money. I went, you sure it's that much money, man? He's like, oh no, you're gonna give me that much money? Like that. And, anyways, the die has been cast. The tea gambler, the cash has been sent. And I am now in possession of the tea. And so now I have to package it up and do the way that I'm going to do it. And but those teas are interesting, and they're not going to be that expensive, which is wonderful, right? They're not that expensive, and so will be everybody who wants to, for an affordable amount of money, will be able to try those out. Anyways, I'll do a whole live stream. I'll probably try and do a conversation about it, about expensive teas, because for many years now, I've stayed away from expensive teas, even though people have wanted them, because it's terrifying. It's terrifying. I don't want to do bad things to people, for lack of a better word, making them spend a lot of tea and having them not like it. But I get access to the best Taiwanese teas on the planet. And some of these teas are wildly expensive, but they're amazing. And so I think I'm going to start selling those wildly expensive but amazing teas. But I'll do a big thing about it shortly. Anyways, I'm going to go. If you want to still listen to basically exactly what I just said, you can jump over to Instagram. I'm going to do another one there with another sound. And yeah. Any last call for any questions? Last call for any questions? I'm going to go and maybe towel off the sweat. I still can't believe it's like almost November and it's still just so beautiful here in Taiwan. So beautiful here. Anyways, thank you for watching. So wherever you are in the world, I certainly hope you have an amazing morning, evening, night, and all that. See you next live stream.